Hey guys, I'm back with another redstone creation. Today I want to show you an AFK one-player obsidian farm based on the lava cauldron mechanic. So this is a rather complicated machine. Took Pixels and I quite some time to design this in order to make it reliable. That was the biggest challenge here. Okay, so let's check it out. So the idea is that we have cauldrons below the dripstone, so they would get filled over time with lava. And then the player would bucket those cauldrons. They're all pushed towards the player. So here would be the AFK spot. We have access to the cauldrons. And once we completed a full cycle, went through every cauldron, we take the lava buckets, send it over to this dispenser here, turn the lava into obsidian by dispensing it against the waterlogged block. And then the player actually stands here and mines the obsidian blocks. So there's also a pickaxe available here. We actually switch between holding an item and then holding the pickaxe, so we wouldn't do any damage or use durability on the pickaxe here. Okay, so we can actually just turn this on. I'm gonna go to survival real quick. Have to also fill your inventory with items, and yeah, let's go. So there will be a bucket dispenser. We can replenish the buckets in the offhand, and the filled lava buckets are just picked up by the hopper below or the hopper minecart here. Okay, so there were a lot of reliability issues with this farm. Mostly the player failed to pick up lava out of a cauldron, and then he would mine the cauldron instead. In order to deal with this, we're using a carved pumpkin dispenser here. So we continuously break the carved pumpkin, then the dispenser places it again. So it's just a mechanic with the snow golem creation. So this is why we got the snow blocks here. It's possible to place a block with a dispenser, but it's only the carved pumpkin this would work with. Okay, so let's start it up. So hold on right and left mouse button. So the cauldrons are pushed in front of the player. Also it cycles through, it only stops if there's a filled lava bucket available. Okay, so we just AFK here, all the buckets are collected. And at some point a block comes through. This basically is the indicator that we completed a full cycle. So any moment the water stream will switch and we will be sent over to the obsidian mining. So we put the item in the item frame, pick up the pickaxe, and there we go, we start mining the obsidian. I'm also using a haze 2 beacon to speed this up a little bit. So just gonna keep mining until all the lava buckets are used up. And then we will be sent back. We put the pickaxe back in the item frame, and we'll get the item back. So there's a dispenser in the back of the item frame that just shoots a snowball. And there we go. Then we got the spider item. So we just need any item that you can't place or interact with the world some way. And now we bucket the lava again out of the cauldrons. So let's check out the farm in FreeCam real quick. I want to show you the cauldron system we're using here. So it basically cycles through the cauldrons and only stops if we have a filled lava cauldron. So here in the back, the comparator keeps track of that. And yeah, it would stop the whole piston pushing sequence of the cauldrons in case you got a filled cauldron. So the player has a chance to bucket out the lava. Then immediately we start pushing the other cauldrons again. So yeah, it's basically a smart system. It doesn't just cycle through the cauldrons. It actually stops only if you get a filled cauldron. Okay, we can also check it out here. Every single cauldron is emptied. Okay, so one more note in case you may want to use this farm with a carpet bot. Unfortunately, the way they made, it would only actually work with a real account, because the carpet bot would actually break the item frame here. So here in the back is also the dispenser with the snowballs. You could also use arrows. What I didn't add here would be a snowball farm that you could also add. So if you build this whole farm in a cold biome, then you can also automatically replenish the dispenser with snowballs, or just store enough. So this will definitely last for quite some time. And the pickaxe would also break eventually. So the farm produces 400. Yeah, there we go. The carpet bot broke the item frame. But it does work if you use a real player. So we're getting 420 obsidian per hour with a netherite pickaxe. This farm would last for 20 hours before the pickaxe would break. But technically you could also have an AFK XP farm. Either a zombie piglin farm or a skeleton-based farm where wolves kill the skeletons, you can also repair your pickaxe with mending, but 20 hours is actually plenty. So if you use this farm overnight, you don't need to worry about your pickaxe breaking anyway. You could also just, yeah, have a dispenser giving you a new pickaxe. Could also use it with a diamond pickaxe, of course. Then I got a couple more notes. So the empty buckets of the lava dispenser here would also be recycled and fed back to the player. So there's a item filter below the dispenser here. All the empty buckets would follow this hopper line and would feed back into this dropper tower that resupplies the player here with the buckets. So I put a couple stacks here in the chest. Yeah, so you wouldn't run out of buckets. So they're all getting recycled. It's basically a closed circuit. Okay, then I got another note concerning the reliability. So this farm is definitely very reliable, but it's basically impossible to make a farm like this one here that uses dual wielding 100% reliable, because you could always be hit by a monster lag spike where the client and server desync for several seconds, and then weird things could happen that you maybe mine a cauldron. But I've been playing a lot on servers. It should definitely be reliable. Never got actually such a bad lag spike that game would froze for a couple seconds. So in case you're playing on a normal server where you don't have really extreme lag, then it should be very reliable. And of course, in single player, it should also be reliable. We definitely designed the farm in a way that there's a lot of leeway when it comes to timings. I got a couple more notes in case you actually want to use and build this farm. There will be a world download in the video description where you can access it from, but you also need to fill some of the dispensers here. So this one requires a couple carved pumpkins. I put half a stack in there, but 3 or 4 would also be fine, since all of the carved pumpkins will be recycled. There's a hopper below that picks up the items and puts it back into the dispenser. Then you need to put one single lava bucket into this dispenser here. So this is the obsidian mining part, and you need to fill the item filter hopper below. So 10 buckets and any other item you wouldn't have in the farm at all. And then of course a couple of buckets to start up the system. So I put 27 stacks of buckets in there, mostly trickled through droppers already. So you can also fill this up again. So this should definitely be enough to fill half the double chest. All right, then one more warning. This was just a proof of concept to get this farm to work. Was complicated enough, but I already have a couple ideas how to make this farm faster or better. So definitely a limiting factor at the moment is the amount of cauldrons we use. So this whole cauldron system is quite complicated to get the timings right and so on, but it would be even better if we could use even more cauldrons. So we don't need to wait so long until we get a filled cauldron in front of us. So at the moment we're getting 420 obsidian power. I'm quite sure we can double that by just using more cauldrons. And I'm also aware of a couple more game mechanics that could help us in order to make this a little bit faster while keeping the same reliability. So definitely try to make a version 2 of this farm. But for now, you can definitely check this out in the world download. Alright, that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching, guys, and see you next time. Bye bye.